Hi, Alan Stratton from Woodturns. Bryan from Cascade Woodturners asked me to do a demo to the club introducing them to segmented woodturning. He wanted me to base it upon this bowl, which I made out of scrap rings, but which to him looks like a baseball hat. I told him I didn't recommend that one because it's actually too difficult and maybe a bit dangerous for a club demo. But he wanted a hat theme, so how about a bowler hat bowl? So is it a hat or is it a bowl? So this is what I'll use for the club demo. First, the plan. I laid out the profile using PowerPoint and calculated all of the segment sizes. My closed rings will be 12 segments, the open segments will be 18 segments. With the plan completed, the first thing to do is to mill the wood to uniform dimensions. Then start cutting segments. I've been disappointed in results from my miter saw. I always had to reset the angle and retest each time. I could not fine-tune the setup. So I've switched to my table saw with a sliding table jig by Jerry Bennett. It consists of a sliding table, a stop to define the segment length, and a zero clearance insert for the saw blade to guide cut segments away from the blade. I also made my own angle templates, 15 degrees and 8 degrees. With segments cut, time to start gluing them into rings. 12 segments per ring does the trick. With the cut angle dialed in, my rings were much closer. A couple I could glue up as complete rings. The rest I glued up as half rings, trimmed them, then finished the job. Now to start building the project, ring by ring. I'll build from the base waist block to the middle and from the top to the middle. In the middle will be the open segment rings. I'll glue them separately last. But for now, here we go. I used a modified Longworth chuck to center one ring, but after glue ran down into its works, I took it to the kitchen for cleaning and did not use it again. Instead, I used my faceplate with concentric circles with the ring hot melt glued to it. Later, I made a new centering faceplate. It has threads for my live center, concentric rings to help me center it, and cutouts for clamping. I like it. Before applying glue, I used tape to indicate ring alignment before the pressure of drying glue. Next, I roughed out some of the excess wood, first from the exterior and then from the interior. I'm especially careful not to remove too much wood from the inside. One of my joints is very close. I'll finish by sanding the face with my sanding board to ensure it is flat and true. Now to glue the open segments. I'm using a Seg-Easy template and white glue. Due to the higher temperature, I recruited my wife to help spread the glue with small brushes. We cleaned the glue squeeze out with wet pipe cleaners. Next, I'm about to glue the two halves together. I'll take the opportunity to rough out excess wood from the inside. With the wood being all face grain, it spools out very nicely in long streamers, almost like streamers from green wood. Then back to finally glue the two halves together. Now for the serious turning. Now I have a faceplate on both ends. I need to tool the exterior, but not too much since I cannot see or measure the interior. Or can I? I bent a nail and ground off the head. With this, I could measure the wall thickness through the spaces between the open segments. I want as much wood as I can for the hat's brim, so I'll remove quite a bit of wood from the exterior. Getting the hollow for the brim was tough going. I'm right-handed and the headstock is in my way, but I do have a faceplate on both ends still, so I flipped it around again for better access. Mostly, I'm using a round nose scraper for the brim. The narrow area is a high-risk catch zone. In the end, I removed too much wood from the exterior. When I did the interior, I did not have quite enough wood to remove all the defects from the inside. With the exterior completed and sanded, it's time to part off one of the faceplates. I'll take off the brim end to gain access to the interior, and I'll finish the job with a handsaw. Now for the interior. I'll start with a heavy bowl scraper, but it cannot do the curve between the top and the sides, so I switch to a round carbide cutter. Next time, I'll change the gluing order to move one ring from the brim end to finish off the open segment half. With this, I could all but finish the interior before the brim complication. Moving the closed ring reinforces the open segments so they can be turned. Finishing the interior then allows the final wood removal from the exterior with confidence. Finally, the hat does not fit on my coal jaws because the brim is rounded and too high. I cleaned up the faceplate for the brim end and re-glued the hat to the faceplate. This time, the glue is 6 blobs of hot melt glue. Now I can finish the top of the hat. A very shallow hollow enables the hat to be reversed as a bowl. I dunked it in walnut oil for a finish. I like my bowler hat. Is it a hat? Is it a bowl? For this demo, I followed the theme of images of bowler hats except for the open segment area. But now that I've done a basic hat, I can see a lot of nice variations to give the hat more modern class. In the end, this hat bowl is a bit too complicated for a club demo. I'll use a simpler project next time. But we still had a good time introducing segmented wood turning to members of the club. That's all for this week's video. Please like this video. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to both my website and YouTube channel. Always wear your full face shield. Goggles are not enough. Until next time, this is Alan Stratton from As Wood Turns.